Good morning again. This is the second lecture for the first week. I wish you could cover the relevant readings for lecture 1. We discussed an introduction of digital business, sort of what is the e-commerce versus e-business and digital business, what are the key features, key types of digital business, and we discussed all of this in lecture 1. Now we are in lecture 2. So whatever we gain in terms of knowledge and skills, this would help us in the future to get good jobs based on our digital business experience and skills. So in this lecture, I'm gonna take you through a journey of what are the key skills for digital business, what are the top jobs for digital business. If you are a digital business graduate, what would be the top jobs for you? And in doing so, you need to think and prepare yourself from now on, if you didn't start already, to develop digital business skills. Take the relevant training, relevant courses, free, certified, whatever is required to progress in your career. And at the end of the lecture, you will see 3 main sources for future digital learning, where you can go to these websites and learn more. So, the agenda for this lecture is talking about the digital business skills in 2021, the top digital business jobs, the e-commerce data analytics skills, which is really important these days, especially in 2021, where data analytics and business intelligence is key. And then I'm going to talk to you about how do you really prepare for digital business jobs. So, the key skills. First, you need to be innovative. So if you go to IBM, if you go to World Bank, United Nations, you have a list of digital business skills. If you apply for UK unique IT skills and special professions, you will find a list of of digital skills required: developers, programmers, IT specialists. So, first, you need to be innovative. So you need to think out of the box. Be ready to adapt. Work from home with new technologies. Adapt your time management. Adapt your mindset. So never stop learning. And you need to circulate around yourself in terms of new technologies, new practices. Not just from colleagues within the same institution, but worldwide, because digital skills are global. However, you need to avoid, overestimating the risks, but you need also to calculate the risk fairly. You might have a new skill, a new technology, which makes you overqualified somehow, and you might lose your job, or lose the chance of getting a job. So, once you become innovative, the second thing is that you become agile, which means don't have a very long strategy for everything. Actually, you might find in digital business era is best strategy is no strategy. So in a daily base, manage each project in small intervals or sub-small objectives. And then each sprint, each sub-objective, you measure your performance in a daily base and you see what did you learn. And then it changes your mentality, changes the technology you use, changes the communication platform and the communication method. The second skill. So once you become innovative and think out of the box, and you become agile, then you need to update your communication network between staff in the same institution, teams, customers, different or wider stakeholders, and you need to do this in a secure and safe environment and in ethical manner. And in the last block, in the last part of this module, you will learn about ethics in information system and digital business in general. Skill 4. So after you become innovative, you become agile, you become expert communicator, you need to increase your digital literacy, which means you need to explore yourself to best practices in terms of adopting marketing platforms. We are going to talk about examples of marketing analytics in a few minutes. social media platforms, different software, internets, online trends. You need to explore all of this and, educate yourself and your team and your fellow people with all of these things. Otherwise, once you become out of fashion, and this happens, believe me, very quickly in the digital era, and especially in 2021. So, if you check the top IT or digital business jobs, you will see things about artificial intelligence. The United Nations and IBM teams, they expect a huge growth in demand for this job, around 344% increment. Applications of artificial intelligence in business, in agriculture, in logistics and supply chain, in different fields. So would be a good one. There are many platforms you can learn free stuff about artificial intelligence and get licensed. Data scientists and data analytics, using software and the visualization of data analytics, not just become a data analyst, which is still one of the top jobs, but how you really use software and analytics software to do raw decision making and do a sort of business intelligence. Information security analyst and become cybersecurity expert. This is one of the top jobs as well. Software engineer, where you can develop not just mobile apps and web interface, but you can also develop integrated systems for corporations where you can, this system can connect between customers, inventory team, purchasing team, operation team, until marketing and sales team and after sales service team. So such systems could be developed to enhance the corporate profitability and innovation. Computer research scientists and how you do different practices and do robotics using this computing power. Data analyst, IT manager, actually PMP, which is the project management professional certificate, and the project management institute, PMI, they do have lots of certification around IT management. This is one of the key jobs in digital business era, where you can manage a portfolio or help an institution to manage and orchestrate a portfolio of IT systems and information systems, how these systems work together as best of breed in a synchronized way to deliver a better performance. So now I'm going to take you to another part of today's lecture, of the second lecture, where we talk about data analytics and how you become a data scientist in business. I'm going to propose two lists of sort of e-commerce data analytics software, where once you get to know them and use them, this will enhance your a chance to get a better job with a higher salary. Google Analytics, for example, which can incorporate and absorb different web access data, keyword, search engine data from your website, if you have a website, or from corporate websites. It tells you what is happening, the new trend, who is doing what, which service is dominating, which product is dominating, and where. If you apply this, for example, for medical equipments and the mask and vaccine, it would help to develop a sort of strategy. Though I would claim that this list of software, they are more in a sort of informing businesses. They don't help you to strategize, but tells you what's going on. KISS Matrix is not free, but it's an affordable price. But once you get qualified and certified, you get to know who is doing it. So in each sector, you can track what type of customers and what are their the rate of request, and you can do demand forecasting In doing so, you can increase customer acquisition and retention rates. You can get to know their, journey from A to Z, from the way they order a product until the way they receive it and maybe return it, resell it. So all this cycle, you get to know where they find about the product, what sort of information, what sort of platform, and in doing so you can send them the right impulses. And you will study this in the second part when you study digital marketing with Dr. Alia. Retention grid. Retention grid is another example of this analytics software that tells you what your customer want in different market segments. So you can classify, age group, gender group, cultural groups, and then you can get to know, according to different colors, what sort of market segment they track. So they might be interested in fashion, automotive, as other type of market according to their gender, for example, might be games, might be mobile phones, so it depends. These three examples of software, they are more data analytics for informing business. But then they might need to build a strategy or strategize. And in the second and third week, we will talk about business models in e-commerce and digital business. And in the third week, we will talk more about strategies. So when it comes to strategizing, this software would help. Metrello, for example, which is, you can have a demo account. It helps you to understand the customer life cycle and the retention analytics, both of them, and link them together. It helps you to develop a sort of integrated customer relationship management system where you can track if your customers have been here using their mobile phones, their laptops, how long they spend, what they really focus on your website, if they do use, if they search social media around something, you can, see any linkage between your service and product and their social media use, and then send them the right commercials to these social media platforms. Clicky is another live real-time analytics, which is free. It's very easy to use as well. Adobe Marketing and even Python, these are more, smart or, intelligent software we can use for e-commerce and digital business. You can require significant knowledge with affordable manner to get to know about your customers and wide set of stakeholders. So if you want to be a good, candidate for highly paid jobs, maybe you focus on this list of software and skills. Once you do this, then how you can prepare for your digital business job. So digital business job, for example, let's assume that you have a position in e-commerce. Let's say you want to be a local Amazon manager, which means you need to have specific qualifications, at least the business analytics and demand forecasting skills that we discussed before. Once you have this in your CV, and as you go, you keep exploring LinkedIn profiles and staff web profiles for these institutions that you want to work for. So if there is any dream institution you have in your mind, keep following the updates, keep following their staff web profiles and LinkedIn profiles, and in doing so, you keep, gaining and make acquisition of the relevant qualifications and skills. Once you do this, you have this, you submit your job application, and there are different platforms that you will find in our library database and in the placement service about jobs, especially in digital business. Once you do this, you get shortlisted and you might have an interview. When you go for interview, especially in digital business, the first way is that you call your company, this candidate company, and explore what they really do. See who is missing, maybe somebody who left the institution, and get to know what was this job that been done by this employee. And once you do this, try to maybe have one of your tutors some a senior colleague in the digital business area who can give you a sort of mock interview. Try to see this way. You are developing a service to bridge between what they do at the moment and what they really need to reach and achieve. You need to show them that you are happy to challenge yourself with new skills and again apply the skills that we discussed at the beginning. So you need to show them that you are innovative, you are agile, you are an expert communicator, and show them this full package of skills, not just the qualifications. And once you do this, you need to prepare good interview questions in your own site. So they will ask you if you do have questions. Questions could be about probation, how long it could be. Questions about what is the chance of being promoted in the future. Questions about how much money they are ready to invest on you in terms of professional development plan and getting further training. Because if you don't keep updating yourself, which is skill number 4, if you don't explore, then you will be underqualified in the future and you're stuck in this institution forever. However, if they are happy to invest on you, this means you will grow up with them and you always have your golden currency in terms of qualifications and skills to go anywhere in the world. That said, thank you for listening. These are the key references for this lecture 2, and see you soon next week in lecture 3.